All right. There we go. There we go. We are back. You know what, Big Sis? We changed to this once a month thing. It's been good, but I tell you what, that month roll up quick.
Yeah. It does roll up on you.
It
It
does.
definitely does. Yes.
It
I
rolls up
guess because
real.
it's not in that same regimen. So we got other things going on in our business and our coaching life and our real estate life. And it's like, man, oh,
Yeah.
it is that Monday. Let's get it. Let's give the folks
Let's
what they
get it. Let's
need,
get
what
it.
they want.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I'm going to tell everybody now, go ahead and like and share. And I'm going to do the same on
Right,
my
right.
platform here. Let's
Let me
get
get
it.
so y'all looking at real life changes that should have took place when we logged in, but it didn't.
There we
So
go.
we're changing it in motion.
That's it. That's it. Yo, live and direct. But look,
Yeah.
we coming up on like our 3rd year anniversary type of thing, or 3rd January or something like that.
Yeah.
So, this is really cool. I'm glad for those that are riding with us.
Yeah.
Definitely, by now they should have people following us should have multi-million-dollar businesses, a huge portfolio of rental properties or other flips done. Or they have inspired others or themselves to do other great things in their life, because we've been bringing it, dropping all
Right.
kinds of knowledge from the real estate side, the credit side, the finance side, the mindset side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's super important in any endeavor that you're going to move forward in. So we literally have like 60 days, 61 days, if you still count part of today, left in 2021. So if you haven't been focused on your goals for 2021, you are definitely running out of time for accomplishing those things. So yeah.
Yes. But and like you said, we're coming up on this our 3rd January together. And we started this whole thing out with giving tips to real estate investors.
Yeah.
Dropping knowledge for aspiring real estate investors and new real estate investors. And I think that it would be really awesome if we take some time and speak to our fellow real estate investors, because these markets has been rough depending on which end
Yes.
that you're
Yes.
on, right? And I've had a couple of new clients and people who want to become clients say, hey, what do I need to do to become a real estate investor? Or what do I need to do to be more successful with what I'm doing right now? And the answer isn't always money. I mean, money is a factor. It's a factor. But the biggest factor, Vic, is the personal and the professional development.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times as real estate investors, I found young real estate investors, some of them have not found the value or understood the value of the continued education. Like young realtors, I don't care how long you've been in the real estate industry, as realtors and brokers, you understand you got to keep that continued education going to keep your license.
Yep.
But as real estate investors, we need to think along the same lines, because we need to become not just savvy in the strategies to acquire a property or the strategies to sell a property, but we need to become savvy in how to understand the market.
Yep.
How to understand trends. What are we looking at? Doing valuations on the property long term. I had a client who wanted to do a fix and flip because all they saw was the money at the end. Like you do the little scenarios when you're in the classes that they take you buy it for 50, you put 25 in and sell it for 200. And this is your take home. But
I remember 2018 and 17.
Right? Because that's not happening.
Right. I tell you, these youngsters, I tell you. Anyway, go ahead.
But one of the things that we don't take a look at when we look at, and I'm not against fix and flips, be really clear. I'm not against any acquisition strategy that you use to acquire property, nor your exit strategy for that property. I'm not against any of it. What I am saying is become more educated in the strategy that you want to use. If you've said fix and flip is what I want to do, praise the name of the Lord. Go for it.
Right.
But you need to understand that just because your numbers say in the end, I'm going to make 75K or 100K, did you account for the amount of time, energy, effort, and level of expertise of your contractors and everything else that need to be involved in this process? So when you do all of that, is that 75K worth it for them 3 months of headache that you quite possibly might be facing? 3 months, 60, 60 days, not because everything that you write down on paper don't follow what the paper says.
And don't forget your uncle. That uncle, he loved getting involved with them fix and flippers.
Come on now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he won a good chunk of that. No matter what tax bracket you started at. If that's a profit for you and you sold it in under a year, you can best believe he's going to be knocking at your door, sending you communication so that you can make sure you make your tax payment on that. So that 75 is definitely whittled down real quickly when you start really looking at the numbers. But you're absolutely right. Folks, I think just need to be very clear on where they want to be in real estate investing. I had to do the same thing. Like, there's been so many different angles that you can approach it in. You have to decide, is this something that you just want to generate a little bit of extra income, passive income every month? Is this something that you're ready to be financially independent, retire early, that FIRE mentality where this is what you do? Because there are two completely different approaches to how you do the business, depending on which angle you are. Or are you just trying to build your security for your future, your retirement, for your, legacy? All of these are different approaches. And you're absolutely right, Laquita. The education cannot stop. No. And the funny thing is, I've learned some new things here in the last 2 or 3 years, and I've actually went back to notes and documents and books that I had in 2015 when we started, in 2008 when I first started reading about this stuff. And now I can add different layers to the information I have now because it makes more sense, because now I have a whole different lens about the business. I mean, this is what I do. So now to look back at that stuff when I was just trying to understand it, it's like, oh, okay, that's a strategy I can actually implement now, So you have to be in constant education mode.
You do. And you made a really great point. There's a massive difference between this is my business and I want to build it to be my business versus this is my side hustle for just a little passive income. I'm gonna still keep doing what I'm doing. This is just my side hustle. There's a really big difference in that. But no matter which one of the paths you're taking, getting in a good relationship with your tax preparation specialist
say that
is a must. Because that person doesn't just need to be your local, and I'm not knocking H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, or any of these people. Those people are professionals and they know how to do your taxes. But there is a massive difference between the tax preparation of a business and the tax preparation of the individual. That tax specialist that you use, or the or whatever they may call themselves, consultant or whomever that you use, their goal is not just to make sure you do your taxes correct. Their goal is to help minimize your taxes and help you develop a strategy for your taxes to minimize the taxes so you can maintain the wealth that you're obtaining. That's a part of wealth building. So as we're growing as real estate investors, and that's in anything that you're doing. I don't care what you could be investing on the blockchain, whatever. You could be investing in the regular stocks and Forex and all of this. Your tax strategist needs to be your best friend. Your best best friend. Your best friend, right? And their level of education and their awareness in their industry needs to fit your business model, because even in that area, not all of them are built the same. Not all of them are built the same. And you say, okay, Laquita, where do I find these people? It's an excellent question. I'm glad that you asked. They are probably at your local RIA, your local real estate investment club.
Yeah.
Some of the clubs are free, some of the clubs are paid for. Whichever one you choose to join has value. And why do I say that those people are in there? Because just like doctors and lawyers, everybody got a specialty, so do tax preparers.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you traditionally purchase a property versus a non-traditional way that you purchase a property look real different in your taxes.
Hmm.
And if your tax preparer is only used to your regular mortgage that you get for 30 years and it has a regular depreciation schedule and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
but you out here fixing and flipping and you're getting hard money loans that don't show up nowhere. You're getting non-traditional money.
Yeah.
You need someone who is used to accounting for that.
Right.
You're like myself. My specialty is getting the wraparound mortgage. Well, my stuff look a little bit different than this.
It definitely does. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so people, the tax specialists and accountants, CPAs, bookkeepers and whatnot that are a part of your local RIA, they've seen it all.
Right.
They've had experience with it all. The real estate, if you're saying, okay, Laquita, I don't have none of them in my RIA, then you need to get to know the person who's been a part of this RIA the longest. That old man or that old woman, they usually sitting there, they ain't teaching the class, they just showing up.
Right.
And drop an old people nugget every now and then because he been investing longer than you've been alive. You need to ask him questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, they've seen it all. And, there's obviously more technology out there than there probably was for investors that were in the 80s and 70s and 90s, whatever. But the concept is still the same, and you can even look at, contracts, real estate contracts, and the verbiage doesn't change too much. Now, my wife will tell you that, a lot of the regulations and things will change, but some of that is old English because I do notary. So I see some of these documents, I'm like, they haven't changed nothing since the 1800s with some of this stuff. But, absolutely. Absolutely. So you already know these more seasoned investors are out there and they're willing to help. They're willing to share with up and coming investors, just like any other industry or business. They want to see it thrive and continue to grow and be successful. So they want the next generation coming up doing that to get some of the old nuggets that they have. And, I would highly recommend if people don't even know where to start, you can either start on Facebook or these social medias, do a search, go to Eventbrite, do a search for real estate investing groups, real estate investing events in my city, whatever it is. And they're there, you go to these places. I can remember when Latasha and I started, we found this couple, they were probably 3-4 years ahead of where we were, trying to be. And they would actually invite people out to a project that they just purchased. They got it under contract. Hey, everybody, come out Sunday at 2:00. Feel free to bring a notepad and pen. We would love to get your ideas about how we should design the house. What should we do to update the property? What would you suggest? And for those of us that were new, it was amazing. Just hearing the different feedback from all these different people about how they cash flow, how they, save money on expenses and things. So you got to be in a constant state of learning in this real estate investing game, especially now. It is super competitive. You've got to be prepared for all types of different scenarios because you may get a property with some unique attachments to it, some unique scenario to it that you got to figure out. And, Laquita, you've been saying it from day one. You've got to build a team that you can depend on, people that are experts in their lane of that business so that everybody's kind of playing their position properly and getting you to the finish line the way that you need to be.
Absolutely. And the thing is, when you are positioning yourself around people that are winning, their definition of winning is different from people who not winning. Their definition of winning involves them making a significant impact to somebody else. So they're not trying to prevent you from winning. They're trying to help you win. Why? Because that helps the local economy. Bottom line, if what we do as real estate investors, we're a part of our local market. We're a part of our state and on the national level. What we do as real estate investors, they need us to, as Vic said, they need us to continue to thrive because eventually some of us are going to do business with some of us one day. And we want someone who's going to be our partner, or we're sitting at the opposite end of that closing table with them. We want them to know what they're doing. Well, you want them to know what you're doing. So people who are winning in the industry have no problem sharing their information. We just have to position ourselves to receive it. So that's nugget number one. Become real good friends with your tax preparer. Yeah. And ensure that your tax preparer understands the way you are doing business. Or if you're new, the way you want to do business. And if you sound Filipino, I don't know how to ask any of those questions. I don't even know what y'all talking about. It sounds like a foreign language. That's okay. It was foreign to us at one time. That's why nugget number 2 is join your local RIA. Your local real estate investment club. Some of them are free. Some of them are not free. Depending on what your coins can handle, you join the necessary ones. They're online, they're in person. And like Vic said, Google Real Estate Investment Club in my area, and tons of them will pop up. They're on Eventbrite. The second one that I want to say is the mentor aspect of it, the coaching aspect of it. Every successful person who is winning will tell you that they have had a mentor or got a mentor. And the more successful you become, I've noticed that they have multiple mentors in different areas. I had a mentor for real estate investing. I got a mentor that helps me on my tax strategy. I got a mentor in my personal development. I got a mentor in my health and my fitness. Like, they have subject matter experts that surround them to help and encourage them in different aspects of their life. So begin that process. If you don't have a mentor, begin the process of searching for someone who is doing what you want to do, but most importantly, they have the ability to teach you how to do it. Everybody can be a coach. Everybody can be a mentor.
That's right.
If you're doing something, it's like from a sports aspect of it. Everybody that's a good basketball player or football player, as we've all seen, don't make a good coach. You just made a good player.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
So you want to make sure that you find someone who can actually teach you how to do what they're doing, or teach you how to do what you want to do in a way that you can maintain.
That's right. Right. That's a good point, because again, like we're saying, like, I've probably had 4 different mentors in real estate, that have met. One was buy and hold specifically. That's all they really wanted to teach me, was how to, get these properties and get them ready to cash flow as a rental property. I've learned on the Airbnb side, the short-term rental side. I've learned on the seller finance, owner finance side. I mean, there's so many different ways, and now we're moving into multifamily properties, and I'm learning so many ways that you can acquire those properties that way. And so it's just being in a state where you can work with somebody who's done it. So I'm like, each mentor has done each different phase of that type of real estate investing. So, it makes sense to be like, oh man, this fits that scenario. Let me call my guy real quick, boom, and have that guy or lady at your disposal to say, hey, I know we went over this, but here's the real meat and potatoes. Here are the real numbers. And I didn't know that I need to get a permit down at the city for this change that I want to make to the house. Like, these things that are new to you, having that mentor is definitely a great way to be successful as a real estate investor, for sure.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you mentioned that. Me and Ben were looking at this property. We were going to get it, buy and hold. And it needed a lot of work, but a lot of work had been done to it. So thankfully we had a mentor.
Yep.
We had a mentor. And not only that, in the area of contracting, we had an excellent mentor. He was a contractor, but he was our mentor in this process because he had been doing it so often. So even when he wasn't available to actually do a job, he make time to come out and do a walkthrough and point out things where maybe the previous investor cut some corners. And that's what happened with this. The previous investor used a contractor. Well, actually, when a contractor, he was technically a handyman because contractors have a license.
Right. There's a difference. Yes.
It's a major difference. It doesn't matter how great they are at what they do, especially in this fix and flip. When you do that, and that house is of a certain age, you got to get permits to get certain things done. So even though this brother had run all of the piping and the wiring correct, because it was oh Lord Jesus, I forget the name of the house, but it's sat up off the ground. Pier and beam.
Pier and beam, yeah.
So we needed to change some stuff to modernize it, and it had been done. The majority of the work, I mean, it was like 85% complete, and it was to the code. The missing piece was he wasn't a contractor, so the city was not going to sign off on that.
Wow.
And the owner was getting the work done, and the friend of the owner was doing the work, and he was having a hard time getting an investor or a buyer because they were going to have to tear up all of that he had done and redo it.
Man, that's where real estate investing becomes expensive, right there.
Yes. As the city inspector came out, it's like, yeah, it's right, but it's not right.
Yeah, that's right, a great way to say it. Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
All of the proper materials. They didn't cut costs on materials. He used all of the proper materials.
Wow, that is something. Hey, 'tis the biz, you know. I hope that sucker cash flow for him after he paid all that extra money to get it right, or you know.
Well, he wanted to move.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to move. He was trying to sell it, and he wasn't asking too much. I mean, it was sweet. It was actually below value.
Gotcha.
It was a sweet spot. So, you know, me and Ben wasn't the only people out there crying.
Yeah. I got you.
But see, that's the thing where oftentimes as young investors that don't have mentors.
Yeah.
That don't have mentors, that don't have coaches, have not been through a program. Because there's nothing wrong with the school of YouTube, and there's nothing wrong with self-education. Be really clear. You can self-educate yourself in real estate investing and do an amazing job. But you can't cut corners on some things.
Yeah.
Even though some systems say you can. Go find you somebody that can do this for the cheap.
Right.
It will bite you in the butt in the end.
Yeah.
And having that mentor in those multiple areas is perfect, because me and Ben didn't know what the code was on PVC piping and what gauge wire. I don't know all that.
And you know, when it's most valuable is in that moment. Like, you know, when you just, you know, surfing YouTube and all this stuff, Pinterest, whatever, learn, you know, it's great information out there. But when you are in the deal, doing the numbers and dealing with the contractors and trying to screen tenants or sellers or buyers, whatever it is that's your strategy, you know, it's nothing like having personal access to your mentor, to your coach, to say, hey, even if it's through text or messenger, whatever your strategy or, you know, your method of communication is with your coach, to be able to just hit them up and within that day or minutes, maybe depending on the situation, be able to get that kind of feedback. At least that's how, you know, I know you operate with your clients. That's how I operate with my clients that I'm coaching with this real estate business. It's the hands-on stuff that it comes down to. I mean, anybody can teach you the theory, but it's really when you're in the weeds and you don't have a rake or nothing to that's when you really need to reach out to that coach and be like, hey, what do I do here? I have 1 day left on my option period and I got the inspection back. I don't even know what I'm looking at. You know, that just those type of things that make a difference. It's just so many pieces to the puzzle. And so, please don't go out here alone, folks, and spend your money. I mean, you can, real estate is such that you may get lucky and still profit, but it won't happen 2-3 times in a row. I can guarantee you that.
Because when you get it right, you get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get it wrong, I'm still suffering from some of my wrongs. I don't even like to think about it. I don't even like to talk about it. A couple of them I still own. It'd be that one when it comes time to write that check for the person, you'd be like,
yep. That's it. Yep.
It just grumble. I can't believe I did that, but I can't let it go. And that's, again, like, even with the buy and hold, the so many different things, and having those mentors and understanding those processes and the RIA. And the other piece that I'm going to say is, because we've talked about the professional development, because a real estate investor is a profession. Mm-hmm. Your personal development.
Yeah.
And I stress that because the level of success that you want to achieve in your business is going to directly be on you. Mm. And if you're not maturing and growing as a person, that will have an impact on your business. Mm-hmm. Long term, even an immediate impact on your business, because our business is about sales. And in order to be great at that, you have to be an amazing communicator.
Right.
You have to be an amazing communicator. Yeah, you have to have the ability to articulate what you want very well, but you also have to have the ability to actively listen to what your seller is saying.
Yep.
What your contractors are saying. Yep. Your title company, everybody that's involved in this process. Mm-hmm. And you need to be able to communicate with them.
Insurance company, CPA, attorneys.
Yes, one miscommunication.
Yeah,
and this is true. This is a story for me. Well, I learned it. I had a property, and it was one of them ones where I just got it wrong, and I needed to get rid of it because I had got it real wrong. I needed to get rid of it.
Right.
And so I was sending out emails and text messages to some lenders that needed to be a part of my process of getting rid of it. Mm-hmm. And me not articulating properly what I said, the lender that I really wanted didn't understand what I said, and her interpretation of it left a bad light on me. It looked like, oh, you just running game. Nah. We're not doing business with you.
Yeah.
After the fact, I did have an opportunity to get it right, but that taught me a valuable lesson about communication.
Yeah.
And the art of communication digitally as well as telephonically. And because I was doing these, I was speaking to so many different people, my normal mode of communication, I'm gonna get on the phone with you, but this time I was sending text messages and emails instead of getting on the phone.
Yep.
And now I ended up still working with another amazing lender, and I highly recommend. I still recommend both, but an amazing lender that got the deal done for me. I had a chat with him on the Friday. We had an inspection on the Sunday. The deal closed on the Tuesday. So they lived up to their promises.
Right.
But like I said, the one that I originally wanted didn't pan out because of my inability to communicate.
Yeah.
So you have to continue to grow as a person and improve what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Timonisha wants to become a real estate agent, but do not know where to begin. I've researched some, but not a whole lot. Where do I start? And is a realtor and agent the same? So a realtor and an agent are the same. So you want to be a real estate agent where you work for a broker. Or are you wanting to be a real estate investor? There is a difference. I mean, you can do both.
Yeah.
You could do both. So
sound like she may want to be an agent, but there are definitely schools in every city, everywhere. There's tons of them. I don't know in this Texas, in the Dallas, Texas area. I know one that, again, I don't get affiliate money from any of them or anything, but definitely like Champion is one in the area, but there's
Champion is
several
big
of them you can
down
look
in
up.
our
Yeah.
area too. Champion is
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
in the Syntax area.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between the broker? What's the difference between the agent and an investor?
I think that's what she wants to know.
Okay, so the difference between the real estate agent and the investor is I'm not licensed by any state to buy or sell real estate. I buy and sell real estate as an individual or as a business. The real estate agent is licensed by the state as a real estate professional to buy and sell property, and they work for a broker. I think that's like the easiest way I can explain that. Vic, you jump on in there.
No, so if you said it correctly, like if there's a difference between the agent and the investor. The agent can actually buy and sell and do transactions, can manage the contracts for that state that they're licensed in or for that area that they're licensed in. Where the investor, like you and I can buy real estate whether I'm using an agent or not, but an investor is basically buying property wholesale, fixing it up, and then executing a strategy of either renting it out or selling it for a profit at a retail price. So that was what the investor would do. I did just do a quick search. You said Panama City, and it looks like there's quite a few Rowlett Real Estate School, the Real Estate Career Centers. I just did a simple search in Google for real estate agent school in Panama City, Florida. So you may want to try that, see if you can find something in your area that helps you.
Yeah. Becoming a real estate agent, it's different in every state. Each state has a different requirement. So once you find a school, how do you know a good school? So
I would say look at reviews for sure. Yeah. And then if you know any good agents in your area, talk to them. Feel free to have coffee with an agent, find out where they went to school. They may end up being your mentor. We're talking about mentors here. But with anything that you want to do, you want to definitely start researching and see if you could get some recommendations. I would even have them, if they are a school and they are operating as a business, I'm sure they can pull together some letters of recommendation. They should be listed with a real estate association in your area, and that type of thing, and definitely check Better Business Bureau, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. At the one point in my life when I wanted to become a real estate agent, I did exactly what Vic said. I found another real estate agent to have a conversation with. And I talked to several real estate agents, and the one that more vibed with my personality is the one that I ended up cultivating that relationship. And she gave me the advice as to what school to go to. And the school was it was Champion. It's in Austin. She gave me that, and she gave me some tips and strategies on how to be successful as a real estate agent. At that time, she didn't have her own brokerage, but after she had her own brokerage, she has opened the door, say, hey, if you want to be an agent, I'd love to have you. So yeah, that's the best place to start. Because I'm an investor, I prefer being an investor, but there's a benefit in both. It just depends on what your end game is, like what what is your goal?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely beneficial to have one on your team, whether they're your, in-house or out-house. I think it's good to have real estate agents especially in the area that you are, if you decide to become an investor, or for everybody else that's paying attention, you definitely want to have a real estate agent on your team in the area that you want to invest in. Not just because they have access to the MLS. A lot of times they know, pocket listings, like off-market listings. People will always tell an agent, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, but, I don't want to put it out there just yet, and a lot of agents, good agents, will have feelers like that that they can have access to. So yeah, it's always good to have a good agent as part of the rest of the team members that you need.
Absolutely. Having a good real estate agent, having a good real estate attorney, having a good title company, because title companies is a good place to get some pocket listings. They know what's about to go boom. They know where the bottom them fell out of a few things.
Yep.
So it's again, and having a mentor and having a network of individuals who are helping you grow your business, helping you grow as an individual, is necessary.
Yep.
Your RIAs, being a part of that real estate investment club, having a mentor or a coach, whichever one you choose, and having a set personal development plan. Like recently, I did a SWOT analysis on myself. And we understand as business owners the necessity of doing it on your business. But when you do it on yourself, it's real interesting.
Oh yeah. Because you got to take them biases out. You got to be willing to see the blind spots, the gaps.
The blind spots. Yep. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What opportunities? And what are my threats? And build your personal development plan from there. You got to be honest with you. You have to be honest with you. And I would say do that quarterly. On yourself. Do that quarterly. Because human nature sometimes doesn't disciplines that we say we're going to do.
Yeah.
Might not always fulfill it.
This is true. I just recently got back into reading a book a month. It's only been 2 months, but I got to say it so that y'all can hold me accountable to reading a book a month. And the book that I started reading for this month is called It Takes What It Takes by this guy named Trevor Moawad. Might want to check it out. Interesting, very interesting story. So the guy, the author, the publisher is the son of a motivational speaker. There was apparently some guy, Moawad, I can't remember his name right now, but in the 80s that wrote a bunch of popular quotes and motivational stuff that I've heard Les Brown quote, and all the greats have quoted this guy. And so his son is a performance coach, or was a performance coach for people like Russell Wilson and just a lot of the coaches, Nick Saban down in Alabama, and just all these people. He's the one that they bring in before the game to get the team ready to go. A lot of times they think it's the coach, but the coach sometimes needs a coach, and this guy is that guy. And so he talks about neutral thinking. Neutral thinking. And so the best way I could describe it is, if positive thinking is you stepping on the gas in your vehicle, and negative is putting it in reverse, there's a neutral is in between. If you're in a car driving in reverse, looking back on reverse, you can't suddenly go into positive, into drive, and you'll tear that transmission up and your head will fly through the windshield. So he talks about that middle ground that takes out the emotions of failures, of successes, and it allows you to focus on the facts. What has happened? So let's just say, for example, we talk about Russell Wilson, one of the people he coached. Well, those of you that are sports buffs know Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl, and the very next year lost the Super Bowl on the last play of the game, mind you. And they interviewed him after that game, and he's like, look, I can't take this with me. We performed to the best of our ability. We thought we had a good plan. It didn't work. I'll see you guys next season. Cut and dry. So I guess the point I'm making here is that neutral thinking will help you in your approach to any business, especially real estate investing, because there will be times when you want to buy something because you think it's a cute house, or because, you saw the numbers on the YouTube thing and said the numbers, if you buy a house like this, you're going to always be profitable. And without doing the real due diligence, you got to be emotionless when you're running your business in real estate, and be neutral thinking, and don't get over elated when you have those successes, and don't get over saddened when you have a loss. You're going to come right back in it. And even in that loss that you said you had, Laquita, I'm sure if you really did the numbers, you probably still made your money back, if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we try to get too engaged emotionally when we need to just be dealing with the facts of things. And so that will be my guidance as a personal development. I've decided to keep reading. And because I'm reading, here is a mentality that'll help me in my business, and so that's for a great guidance you're giving here with the have a personal development plan, whether it's reading, meditation, a mentor that you meet with weekly, because it's good to have the mentor. But what are you doing now with the mentor? And what's your strategy for implementing the information you're getting from the mentor? Because information without action is nothing. So anyway,
it's pointless. I mean,
so much.
You're all over that. Like with a part of my personal development is we got two things. So, many of us as entrepreneurs, we have significant others, and having a significant other while you're on this entrepreneurial journey can be challenging.
Yeah.
Because you're two different individuals. So you have two different trains of thought on things, right? And it's not like going to the job where you can call a timeout because it's the end of the day. You ain't got that kind of walkaway power.
Nope.
You don't have that kind of walkaway power. We sleep there. So,
right.
One of the things that me and Ben have learned along the way is the art of communication. And one of the things that we do that we have implemented is whatever it is we're working on, we're reading that together. So like your book a week, right? Your book a month. No matter what I'm doing for my personal development, a book I might be reading, we pick a book and we read that same book.
I love that.
I got one that I'm doing all by myself. He got something he's doing all by himself. But we have one that we're doing together. Yeah. Why? Because then when we are trying to implement a strategy or something, we at least know where we're coming from, and it's not a foreign concept. And we're doing it at the same time so we can have conversation and dialogue about it. And it builds us as a couple. It builds us in our profession. It builds us as an individual. The thing that I do for myself that is not, I don't want to say not inclusive of being, but I'm a real people person. So I have a mastermind group that I meet with consistently. And people are in that group from all different professions, but it's all about personal development and performance, getting to that next level, being that next person I want to be. And I'm being held accountable in that group by other people to do what I said I'm going to do. So one of the women in the group is a PA, a physician assistant. She up in Frisco. The other one is her and her husband have several ministries around the world. They're full-time pastors. Both of those are things, professions that they've reached some peaks in their professions that I want to reach. Right. So that's where I need to be. I can't be the chiefest Indian in all of my groups.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
I gotta have some challenges.
Yeah, that's good.
I have some people that challenge me.
We can only grow in discomfort. You don't grow sitting in comfort. The shoes already fit, so they only stretch out when they tight. You know what I mean? However you want to look at it, but it's really good to put yourselves in environments where you're not the smartest, you're not the most experienced in that particular, not the wealthiest or whatever, or even the healthiest or whatever thing that you are striving to be. You got to go somebody who's stretched beyond that point where you're at now. And which takes us back to the mindset piece of it, because, you don't want to stay focused on where you're at. You want to be thinking about where you're going so that you can visualize it. I just talked about it in my post today, just that visualization and really, really being in that moment. Like, try to close your eyes and think about the colors and where you're at and who's going to be in the room with you, and like try to visualize it. And the more that we can get our brain to see it, the more it'll attract to us those situations that make that reality come to life. And so having a good people around you that's going to challenge you when you don't want to be challenged is really a good thing. I got some brothers I've been rolling with for about 3 years now on Sundays, and these guys are from all over the country. It's about 30 of us on here, and we talk about our wins. We talk about a loss, maybe that we need help with from the group, and what's our goal for the week, and so those type of things, especially, with Black men and Black women, we've got to be able to support each other and in a non-judgmental way. To be able to let ourselves express what we're going through, especially in business. We don't have to be competing all the time. Sometimes we just need to be a support system for each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. We need that. We have to have that. If you don't have somebody that can challenge you and stretch you, and to be real clear, just transparency. When I found out that these two sisters was going to be my accountability partners, I literally spazzed out for about a week. I literally spazzed out for about a week, man. I was like, are they crazy? And I had to eventually allow the Holy Spirit to speak to me. I can't even say I checked myself because I did not. Myself was trying to figure out how to not to. Real talk. Myself was trying to figure out how to not to because I felt intimidated. And I was my husband's personality is quite different from mine, and so I'm trying to have a moment with him, and he just kept asking me, "Are you serious? Are you really doing this right now?" I was like, "Are you doing what are you doing?"
Right.
That didn't help my situation. That didn't help me feel better at all.
My man Ben.
Yeah, he was like, "Are you serious? Are you doing this right now?" Yeah, I am. You're not helping, but in the end, it was something that I have been praying for because we can't get to where we want to go if we don't have somebody to help us get there.
Yeah.
And you can't be intimidated by the people who are being put in place in your life to help you get to where you need to be. And they're not always going to come wrapped up in the package that you like.
Right.
It's not going to come like that. And that's what personal development is all about. Personal development is, if you think about it, because I love basketball, personal development is like at the end of your 8th grade year, them last 3 games, they pull you up to the JV team and tell you you're going to be the 6th man off the bench.
Yeah.
Them
Make
girls
you very uncomfortable.
like giants.
Yeah.
The pace of that game is fierce. No matter how much you was winning. Even if you in the JV and you've been thinking that I am ready for the varsity.
Yeah.
My son had that rude awakening. He was like, he had been practicing all summer, and he thought David is the truth. Let me be clear. David is the truth. There's some grown men out there. He playing college football.
Right.
There's some grown men out there. He played corner. Some of them guys coming out there, it's like, oh, do I want to hit you? Do I want to stand in the way? Maybe.
Right. Exactly. There you go.
But you have to have that to get better. You got to have personal development. You got to have the professional development. And you got to continuously surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction that you're going in your life. You have to do that. And as you grow in that personal and professional development, that circle will emerge. Just like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you keep moving, if you keep going, who you need to fill those spots will come. You just have to recognize it and work with them.
That's it. No, this is good. This is good guidance. So just kind of recap, we talked about 3 things that you recommend to be successful in real estate investing, just from a mental standpoint. Joining a RIA club, having, a real estate investing club definitely is a whirlwind of people in that space that you can meet and get to grow from. 2, get an experienced mentor. We cannot mention that one enough because we've had mentors, we have mentors, we are mentors. It's just very important that you have somebody that you can call upon to help you, who has the experience, knows how, and they have your interest in succeeding in mind, right? And then thirdly, having a personal development plan, whatever that is, to just be on a constant path of growth and personal development so that you can be the best person you can be, so that you can be the best business person you can be. So those, I think, are great tips, Laquita, for people starting out, especially, well, really people that are seasoned. It's good for all of us to take on those 3 suggestions right there in the real estate space.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those are 3 things that we continuously work on. Like, because I don't know everything. I don't know everything, and there's some things you could be like what you were just saying. You've made some transition in your real estate journey. I know you love buying whole. Did not know that you try your hand at fix and flip. I did know that you was transitioning into wanting multifamily. So since that wasn't something that you had done before, you went and got with some people who teach you how to do that.
That's it. That's
so
it.
It doesn't matter, how long you've been in whatever it is you're doing. There's always someone who can teach you something. We just have to learn how to look for the teacher, or prepare ourselves to be the student. So as that proverb said, the teacher can appear.
That's right. That's how you do it. That's it. That's it. It's it. Yeah. Absolutely. No, definitely. So how can people reach you if they need coaching, if they want to get a mentor like you?
So let me go ahead and drop my little link in the comment section. Let me drop that link in the comment section because I want people to be able to reach me.
And again, folks can still comment after this live. You can still come through the timeline, comment, and we'll still get notification and we'll respond to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at that John C. Maxwell group right there. Yeah, we're proudly. That's it. I love it.
I have to, and I recently had a couple of people ask me, what made me want to do that, or why did I decide to make that move? Because I've been speaking for a long time.
Yeah.
And really, the bottom line came down to wanting to be challenged to be the best version of myself in a different space. And so in order to do that, I searched out a mentor. I searched out a program, a process that can help me get to that next level. And that's how I came to that decision. It's like, as long as it's breath in your body and Jesus ain't returned, you are not perfected. There's always room for growth.
That's right.
So
that's real.
I was looking for growth. It was a growth opportunity. I took it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you went straight for the fences too. I mean, if you're going to go, you better go with the best. I mean, John C. Maxwell Group, I don't know anybody that can even say the word leadership without mentioning the name John C. Maxwell. So you went the right route for sure.
Exactly. There you go. That's the thing. It's like some things, I mean, you just have to do what's best for you as an individual. But making sure you're getting the very best that you can get.
Yep.
Making sure you can get the very best that you can get. Every time you go a little more. It's like steps. Just keep growing. Keep growing. Yeah. Keep
growing. Let's do it. We got a great month ahead of us. It's the first day of November.
Yes.
Folks, do not go on autopilot yet. It's still plenty that you can get done and accomplish. Push yourself just a little bit harder than you thought you should or could for this month. Surprise yourself. You'll be very shocked of the results that you get. So push yourself a little bit harder in this month of November, and love on your family, be healthy, and definitely make sure you follow us. Like, share, comment this post from today. Some really good nuggets in here. Thousands of people should benefit from what we just said tonight. Hopefully you can share with your audience as well. And we appreciate you very much for tuning in tonight.
All right, Vic, we will be back next month. It's December. That's so weird. First Monday in December, we will be back for our year-end review.
That's right.
Oh, y'all don't want to miss this. This is going to be real good.
Yeah, good stuff.
You don't want to miss our year-end review, right? You don't want to miss that. So Have your set your clocks, set your reminders. I'm about to tell y'all today right now. Let me pull up my handy dandy calendar.
There it is.
December the 6th.
There it is.
Set your calendar. You don't want to miss Create Your Future Self Live, our year-end review. We're going to talk about 2021.
Yep. A lot to talk about. What a year.
A lot to talk about. Yeah, it's been a year.
Yep, exactly. Y'all have a great one. Good to see you, Laquita. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
We out.